What's up, guys? Welcome to another home theater hangout. I have a couple of guests with me tonight. One guy you might know, his name is Ealan Osborne. What's going on, Ealan?
Hello.
Hey.
Hi. Greetings.
And then we also have first timer, Mr. Collin. He's from Aperion Audio.
What's up, party people? That was nice. I like that.
So, Collin, this is your first time here. Could you tell folks watching tonight who you are and what do you do over there at Aperion Audio? And what does Aperion mean?
What does Aperion mean? My name is Collin Leibarger. I'm the general manager here at Aperion Audio. We've been a speaker company since 1999. Actually started as internet direct-to-consumer way back in the day. And we've been manufacturing killer loudspeakers ever since. I'm the general manager here on the U.S. operation. And I'm stoked to be here. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, no problem. So we wanted to have you on because, I have reviewed a couple of, I reviewed your Bravus 12D subwoofer, which is, I believe has the, is it a dual pose or does it have the passive radiators? I forgot now.
The original Bravus had dual active woofers. The current one, I think the one you reviewed and the one Ealan has, dual passive radiators and a single downfiring active.
That's right. And Ealan, obviously, he's got the big boy system over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got the Theatrus. How do you pronounce it? What's the proper way?
Theatrus.
Like theatrical.
You can get snarky like me and call it Theatrus,
Theatrus. Beatrice and her Theatrus speakers.
So are these your kind of like your premier higher end series of speakers, the Theatrus speakers?
Yeah. We designed the Theatrus as custom studio cinema install speaker. There's a lot of different models. There's in-wall and on-wall versions, and the thing we were going for was high SPL. Very much that movie theater feel, right?
Yeah.
Excitement and everything. A lot of cool stuff goes into that speaker line. We worked for a long time on our AMT tweeter. It's kind of one of the highlights of that speaker line, as well as the soft dome mid-range drivers, and new material for the woofers, curved material from German Propylex, and overall really stellar speaker. It kind of the goal there. You get the same model all the way around, all channels. You get that synergy going in your home theater. It's different from your traditional tower center bookshelf surround model kind of thing. And big black monsters. They just you can hang them on the wall, you can put them on stands. They're really meant to go on walls, but loaded with options and all sorts of good stuff. Especially for those doing projection screens. You want the speakers right behind the screen, again, just like your professional movie theaters. And, we've even included adjustments to, compensate for, in-wall installation, installing behind acoustic transparent screens, because there's always that little bit of attenuation that happens. And, like I say, just overall, we tried to kind of think of every possibility, and in expanding the line, like I say, we started with, kind of these ported and sealed models, and then moved on to in-wall, more architectural models as well.
Yeah, that's these guys here, right?
Yeah. So there's some models with a single woofer, some with dual woofers, and then we have height speakers as well. In fact, new addition recently at the very bottom of the page is the ceiling speakers. And as well as those big giant monsters. But now we got the Atmos channels covered, heights channels covered, and really, really awesome stuff. Nice and crisp.
Yeah, so let's talk about the big ones here. Theatrus T8s. What size rooms are these kind of like targeted at? Like if we go down the line here.
Definitely bigger room with these. Like 20 by 20, even larger. They can definitely take some power as well. In fact, they really excel with a fair amount of power. Obviously with a higher sensitivity and everything, but yeah, dual 8-inch woofers. And kind of the cool thing, the faceplate with the mid domes and the AMT tweeter, that's pretty much the same throughout all of the models. And so, there again, you get this real synergy with all of the models, whether it's, ported or sealed cabinets, that you use for fronts versus surrounds and that sort of thing. And yeah, like I say, the back of these, there's a couple of adjustments that, you can move these pins to kind of adjust or compensate for how you're positioning them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. This is depending on how like what is it like an attenuation type of thing?
Yeah, so it's like there's a free field or a baffle wall setting. So if you're like building a square behind your projection screen for the speakers to sit in and sit kind of flush with the wall, you can set it for that. And same with if you're putting them behind a projection screen, you can adjust that as well. So like, yeah, free field or acoustic screen, and then, on wall or in wall, essentially.
Oh, gotcha. So you can put these in your wall as well?
Yeah, we have a couple of guys that have, like I said, kind of, built a cavity behind the projection
gotcha.
screen for their LCR to sit in,
Yeah.
kind of theater style, right? So yeah, those jumpers can kind of compensate for those things that happen when you configure speakers that way.
I do have a question about that though, Collin.
Oh.
Because as it comes in the box, pretty much like what it's showing in this picture that Shane has up,
Mm-hmm.
where you've got two of the jumpers connected at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Is that supposed to be like that, or is like, say with these, since I just have them free field,
Mm-hmm.
just sitting on top of a speaker stand?
Mm-hmm.
Would I only have it on free field, or would I have it on free field and whatever's at the bottom?
Oh, like you mean? Oh, looking at the picture, the top jumper and the bottom jumper. You mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, unless you're putting like a screen in front of it, I would keep the top one at free field, and then yeah, if it's sitting on a stand, the free field setting would be the optimal setting there as well.
Okay, so you do want to have both of those pins in at all times if it's just sitting on a speaker stand.
Correct.
Okay, because I know it says free field. The bottom one says free field, and then in parentheses on wall. But
Yeah, but again, like
that's-
nothing on the sides of the baffles, right?
Yep.
No material right there, like more radiating free into the room, I guess is
Right.
kind of what that's getting at. Yeah,
Okay, just curious.
great question.
What happens if you unplug those jumpers?
The you're stumping me there, Shane. It changes circuitry in the crossover. I'll have to, if anybody has detailed questions on that, they can sure email us and we can get them all the specs on that sort of thing. In fact, I think we might have curves as far as, what the difference is. Actually, on the website, now that I think of it, yeah, so a little ways down the page, we do have some curves on the website that show kind of what happens essentially with, the two adjustments.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep, there it is.
Acoustic screen behind screen.
wow.
Rotatable, easy pull spring magnetic logo. Oh, it's the logo. Is there just what's the the default out of the box?
Out of the box, yeah, just the free field is where it's set at, and then
Okay.
like
Yeah,
that
we let
photo.
customers, adjust to their liking essentially. And, with a lot of things with theater, we encourage experimentation, try the different settings in your room with your equipment, and, let your ears be the judge too.
Where, like, what do you have your crossover set at, Ealan, for these? Do you have these ones? Or you have the 65s?
65s. I have it set to 60 hertz.
60 here. Did you notice any bass coming out of them, like your surrounds and all that? Wait, are these your surrounds as well?
I've
You get the slims, don't
I've got T65s as my front soundstage and surrounds, and then the T65 slims for front wides and surround backs.
Ooh. Have you tried running in them like full range? See what kind of bass you get?
I have, but I didn't do enough testing, so I would have to do a little bit more, or at least watch a little bit more demo content to really see if it makes a difference if I tell them to be full range. But honestly, I didn't notice too much of a difference, at least right off the bat, when I ran them full range versus 60 hertz. So,
Are you a drummer, Collin?
I've been found. Ah.
yes.
I swear I'm a musician. I play other instruments too. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, been a drummer for a long time, actually. Yeah, just music in general. It's the universal language, right?
Yeah. What is your thought on why you did go with dome drivers and why not two-way instead? 5 drivers or more. You need to go cheaper drivers when you have more of them.
Cheaper drivers when you have more of them. I guess I don't really know how to answer that, but yeah, with the mid domes, our goal was a really wide dispersion and just incredible mid-range response. I mean, those things, they're kind of like the magic of that speaker, in my opinion. Wide pole structure, and really the damping material that we put on those eliminates the distortion, and especially at those higher sound pressure levels. That was kind of one of the hurdles to master with that speaker was getting that mid-range response perfect, and like I said, eliminating the distortion too.
Because I know with your Varus towers, or just towers in general, if they are 3-way, you're going to find your woofers are cone woofers, and your mid-range will just be like smaller versions of those cone woofers. Had you ever like experimented with cone woofers instead of dome mids?
Oh, for the Theatrus specifically?
Yeah.
No, I mean, like every other speaker design that we've done has had traditional mid-range drivers. So this was kind of a different operation for us and kind of a new thing for us too.
Yeah.
So yeah, just all part of the different direction that Aperion was going with this line.
Yeah. I mean, not saying that, dome tweeters or like dome mid woofers are bad at all, because it's some of the most intelligible dialogue I've ever heard. So clearly they're doing something right with being dome mid.
Personally, honestly, I was like sort of indifferent on it at first. Like it was just so different from what I was used to.
Yeah.
And it felt taxing to me at first. And like AMT tweeters, I can really appreciate those, but they do feel taxing to me after long listening periods. And, again, that's just my personal opinion, not to say anything bad about it, but it was something that I kind of got to get used to. And the more movie content that I watched with them, it was like, the more I got it, it was like, okay, yeah, this is that excitement, and that feel that you get from that is just the power coming from those things.
I would have to agree. Right. Once you go AMT,
it's hard to go back.
Yeah, no kidding.
That was one thing. The first time I listened to those, I listened to the T8s and then, tried to compare back to the Varus, and it was like, I feel like, is the tweeter dead on the Varus? Like,
Yeah.
why am I not hearing this the way I used to? It was like, it was almost shocking at the moment. But there again, I've always been a Silk Dome guy as far as tweeters go. So that's just my personal preference, I guess.
Yeah.
What's the idea behind these guys here? The Quad 10 and 8.
Kind of a special project and in a very small production, but again, going for large custom install home theaters, very large with these kind of things. It's a monster. These could work as LCR essentially. They're tri-ampable as well, so you can pump one channel to woofers, mids, and then tweeter. This unit has a larger AMT tweeter as well, which is really, really cool. And because of their size, we did a custom stand included with it as well. As you can see, there's PA handles on the side of it.
Yeah.
It's a big boy.
Yeah. Dang.
Why didn't you get this one, Ealan?
I asked him.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I asked him.
Well, yeah, especially now that I have this tiny little office, it would be way too overkill for sure.
Like Ealan turns into the real life, Max Sale commercial, right? Getting like
Right.
Like this is
But I mean, not saying that someday I would love to have, like, in a large proper theater, I would love to have those speakers, especially if I'm able to. Gosh, I would have to have an electrician like go over step by step how I'm going to tri-amp like my entire front soundstage with these monsters and not blow a fuse, or blow a circuit.
Yeah. Hey, I got a couple amplifiers that you can use for that too. Wink.
What kind of max SPL can the T65 Slim dish out throughout their measured frequency range, and will they blend well as surrounds if my front stage does not have the AMT tweeters?
I get that question a lot, and I guess for me personally, I've never been opposed to the Franken system. I kind of use I worked at Radio Shack. I had so many systems that were just like pieced together stuff, and a lot of times it sounded good. My rule of thumb is I try to match the tweeter if it possible, because that's going to at least get things close, But another thing I look at is SPL. If your surrounds are way hotter than your fronts, for example, things could get a little out of balance at that point too. But of course, the purists will say same model, same make all the way around, which, especially hearing a full Theatrus system like what Ealan has, there is something to be said with that.
Yeah.
But, to that person, if you'd like to email us, we'd be happy to chat with you about it. That's one of our things with Aperion is customer service is kind of one of our main things. It's one of really should be any company's main focus, but it's definitely our focus. And, I get customers that call and they're almost like surprised that a person just answers the phone and starts talking to them right away. Like,
Yeah.
it's a rare thing these days, which is silly. And yeah, as far as Max SPL, I don't have it right off the top of my head, but I can find it. Let's see here. EA said the Slim, right? T65S?
Yep.
Yeah.
Max SPL is 121 decibels.
Ooh.
Jeez.
Spicy.
Louder than I would like to listen to.
Louder!
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy loud, but normal performance, they're still pretty bright.
And that's just the T65 Slim.
That's the Slim,
mean,
I think, is it the T8s is 122, and
the
then
T107?
131.
Ooh. Wow. Nice.
Talking Wembley, baby. Let's do it.
Yeah. I
So
know. What kind of clientele have you had so far that have gotten the monsters like the 107s and stuff?
Rich guys. Got it. Only a couple of sales on those, to be honest. It's like I said, not so much a special order, but yeah, very small production, and at this point, kind of a test to see, how things are going to work and that sort of thing.
Mm.
But yeah, it's not a cheap speaker per se, and with something like that, I'd want to move it in once and never ever move it ever again.
Yeah. Have you had any like commercial offers?
Not quite yet. Still working on that.
Yeah, that would be because clearly
More to come.
those 107s are commercial grade for sure.
Definitely.
So is this the preferred subwoofer to go with the Theatrus line?
That is one of them.
One of them.
So this was kind of the start, and again, another, I'll kind of say test product, I guess. Most of all of our subs have always been active subs. This one's a passive 15-inch woofer. And so, a lot of flexibility with this thing, and being a sealed cabinet, it's something where, it can be installed somewhere, or, multiples can be put in place and that sort of thing. And, the flexibility of using an amp, but basically a giant box with a huge paper cone woofer that's ready to rumble. I've run it a couple of times in our sound room, and, I haven't gotten any comments from our business neighbors yet, but I guarantee they hear it. Well, they don't hear it, they feel it.
Right.
It's a beast, though. That's the only one that doesn't have magnetic grills, too. Like, just can't do magnetic grills with those.
Wow, because they'll just shake right off.
They just pop right off, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you use in the power of these?
A couple of different amps. Honestly, here I just have a cheapy, oh gosh, what is it? I think it's a Dayton audio unit or something I picked up cheap just for the demo room.
Right.
But yeah, subwoofer amplifiers, man, there's a lot of cool stuff out there. And yeah, coming soon will be active models for the Theatrus line, like,
Okay.
subs for those. So yeah, more to come on the low end side of the Theatrus.
You mean the powered active subwoofers or active speakers?
I'm sorry, yeah, powered subwoofers. I'm
Okay.
tripping over my words. It's been one of those days. But yeah, active subwoofer or powered subwoofers. They'll be out. I think by the end of this year, maybe something like that.
Including 15-inch.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. Ealan's excited.
So these are
might have to trade in my Bravas 12Ds.
I might have something for you.
So these are angled. Angled wedges are pretty popular. Will there be a bigger version of this one with 8s? Possibly at some point in time.
Not currently in the works, but probably something we'll do eventually. We did these guys, and then kind of the next step was getting the ceiling speakers going. But man, I love these speakers. These are some of my favorites for sure. The angled design, obviously you can use them as heights and all that sort of thing, but honestly, they make a really killer near field monitor too. I've used them on my desktop, and they're really, really sweet. So there again, same, 6.5-inch woofer as the others, same AMT tweeter, two-way design, not a three-way design, but yeah. And all of them, all the wall mount Theatrus speakers do include our stealth mount as well, which is a really slick mounting bracket. How many of these do you have on your ceiling, Ealan? Like 11 of them or something?
8.
8. Oh, my bad. Cheese ball. Yeah, these are super cool, and it was kind of the finishing touch for the line at that time. And then it was just earlier this year that we rolled out the ceiling speakers, and so there again, depending on what kind of configuration you're doing, whether it's heights or Atmos or even wides, they work great as surrounds. Like there again, it's like there's multiple options in the line to be able to fit, whatever kind of installation you're looking to do.
Got you. Is there? I see the little nubbies on the side here. Is there like a L brackets that?
So those are
Articulate.
our threaded inserts, and they're little plugs that go in the threaded inserts.
Right.
So you can use the stealth mount, on the sides, on the back,
Oh,
so
got
it
you.
can kind of be configured, any direction essentially.
Oh,
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah. And same with the Theatrus mains, like the T8s and T65s and stuff. Those have 3 different mounting positions as well. So whether it's, left, right, center, however you want to orient the tweeter, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah, because I saw Ealan did his video. He was mounting them wrong on his ceiling, and he had to redo them. So that was a
Really? I missed that.
that was a good episode.
What?
That was a good episode.
I gotta find that.
Hey, I gotta, I can't get it right every time. So,
None of us do, man.
So these, the form factor on these, they kind of are reminiscent of. Remember the older M&Ks, the 150s.
I knew you were gonna say that. I took these to the home entertainment show last year. We had a theater room and then a stereo room, and I did 7-channel Theatrus and then height channels and subs as well. And it was like, I think every third group that came in, I'd have some guy that come up and be like, "So you ever seen the little M&Ks?" I'm like, "Yes." Very reminiscent, which is cool. That's a legendary speaker.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've had some before. The what I have now is I've got these RBHs which are kind of like this, except the woofers are on top and on the bottom. Mm-hmm. So it's like a slim version.
Yeah.
Is there in a world where you would have like not a square version, maybe like a slim version, like a rectangular slim version?
Yeah. In fact, like we got some new stuff coming out, which is really, really cool. I assume that's what you were alluding to.
I was throwing you a little layup here.
Totally. Yeah, and there again, we're looking to propose options, to fit anybody's theater, and so yeah, these new stacks, as I've been calling them, are going to be a really neat offering, and we have both slim and in-wall versions. So yeah, that kind of setup where your tweeters in the middle, mids, woofers, that sort of thing.
MTM configuration.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe we can leak some photos.
Hey,
Folks, huh?
yeah.
I just do the little share screen at the bottom there.
What's that?
Oh, you can share your screen by the little arrow pointing upwards.
Oh yeah. Sorry, one sec. I do not have those pulled up. I'm slacking here.
Oh, wait, were you waiting for me?
I was waiting for
do I
you. Waiting for me. We're nailing it.
We're waiting for each other.
Waiting for everybody. One sec here.
You, me, you, him, you, me.
Me.
So I think I got it here. Hold on. Here we go. I got it.
Oh, well, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
There we go. Hopefully it doesn't show any of my emails. Where are we? Let me share that. Look at that. Oh, that's the back. I think you guys want to see the front. Oh, there we go. Look at that.
Ah.
Yeah, let me move that. Make that a little bigger.
Yeah. So yeah,
That was a
6-inch
nice one.
and 8-inch versions of these guys, and yeah, you got your faceplate right in the middle.
Yep.
Your woofers a little slimmer. Yeah, just another cool option to offer. Good
Yeah.
for live, good for surrounds. Again, these speakers kind of serve any position in the theater, essentially.
Is there going to be like a different kind of dispersion between this one and the square versions, or?
I believe maybe just a little bit. I haven't seen the graphs for those quite yet, but we'll have those available, of course. They're not even on the website right now. Still finishing up in production, but I wanted to give the viewers a little taste of what's coming. So yeah, there's our in-wall version.
Ooh, look at that.
These in-walls are pretty slick, man.
Yeah.
They're a beast, and you got these beefy dog legs to get them installed in the wall. Sealed box, you don't have to worry about backer boxes or anything like that. So it's just all ready to pop in, and after you cut a gigantic hole in your wall, it's all ready to go.
Will there be? Well, I guess it will really. I was going to say,
I take it they'll fit between studs. They're within 15
much
inches.
easier construction wise. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So this is essentially the same as the regular box version.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Because I was going to say, can you offer like a surround box? But then I was like, well, you could just buy that, or this wouldn't make sense.
Yeah. However you want to do it. But yeah, the in walls are a sealed back, and so yeah, they're set and ready to go into the wall and perform awesome.
Is there a difference in dispersion? Because obviously they're in their vertical position in the pictures. But like, say if you wanted to use one kind of on its side, like as a height channel, would the AMT tweeter have a different dispersion if it's horizontal?
Yeah, it is slightly different, and naturally being an AMT tweeter, of course. But it's not a super dramatic change. And, that comes into play a lot too with like the T80s and the T65s, and using them for center channel, right? We've had some customers tilt them to the side. We've also had customers leave them, straight up and down and kind of just align that tweeter in the mid-range, right with the center of the screen, which I honestly think is kind of the best sound in my opinion. But there again, depending on the theater, sometimes that's not an option to fit and they got to go sideways. And so, it's not a dramatic change. And, with these guys being so much longer, again, I haven't seen the measurements on them quite yet, but yeah, I expect that would be, a little more dramatically different than, the square rectangular, kind of design or square design.
Right. Okay.
Probably easier to put these on your, just in case you didn't want to go with the wedges. Might be easier to mount on your ceiling if you want to go that route. Yeah. Because that's what I did. Mine are kind of like this, and they're just mounted sideways. And I think there's maybe a 10-degree difference between upright and horizontal.
Oh, yeah.
So not really anything you're going to notice, I think.
I mean, yeah, like stuff like that you're going to pick up in a measurement, but probably not going to make a huge difference.
Yeah. And then you have the smaller ones.
Yeah, just a single woofer version as well. Yeah. For the slim. Because we have those in the in-wall currently, but we didn't have a slim version with just the single woofer. So, again, kind of completing that line option.
That might be easier.
So question is, do you have 18 of them for Shane?
That's it.
Not yet. Not yet, but hold tight, buddy. I'll get you.
Yeah, well, how many you got, Ealan? You got 16?
17.
17. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Look at that. He's got 17 in a room quarter of the size of mine.
Yeah.
Well, this room, Ealan, is bigger than the last one, or is it actually smaller than your last one?
It is longer, but it is narrower. It's only just over 9. Yeah, pretty much.
That's terrible.
It's just over 9 feet wide, whereas my previous theater was 11 feet wide. So, but the previous theater was 16 feet deep, and this one is 25 feet deep. But at the same time, you know, where I'm sitting right now isn't technically part of the theater. It's just where I edit my videos and stuff. So,
Sure.
you know, I'm just
The multi-purpose.
utilizing the space. Yeah.
We need
Ealan's
some,
flavor.
need some lights back there. Light it up back there, Ealan.
Yeah,
Light it up.
Alexa, turn on lights.
turn on theater lights. Yeah, I can try. Wow.
Give that shot some depth.
I don't think I have very bright lights that are available currently.
Because it's a theater, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You need like a massive like pull switch to turn on the whole system.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, you mean this?
the
It's
fluctuation.
alive.
What's the sensitivity of these speakers?
Very.
I think it's pretty on par with the
That's 90 something.
62 dB.
100 billion dBs. 1 second, I can tell you. What was that here? I don't think
Those speakers look stunning.
I know. Is he referring to the new ones or
Or the
I think
old
they're all
ones?
pretty comparable as far as
Yeah,
sensitivity.
94.
94, okay. So you don't
Right on par.
pretty easy to
That's
drive.
That's like Klipsch level sensitivity, honestly.
Mhm.
So that's cool.
Yeah. What's gonna be the price on these guys?
So the 65, 6-inch version, $11.99, I believe.
For this guy?
For that guy
So 1200.
with the 8-inch.
Wait, so what is it? This is an 8? This one?
Yeah, there's an 8 and a 6-inch as well. So
Oh,
the
gotcha.
8-inch be $849, and then 6-inch $749.
Hey, not bad. And then
Dang.
Free shipping here in the U.S.
and then the in walls
And the in walls.
is it also gonna be 6 and 8 as well for the in wall.
Yes.
Whoa, look at that.
Where to go? For the dual 6, $1349. And then
So they're more expensive than the
Well, it
free
has,
field.
well, it has moving parts, Ealan. Has his
Yeah.
little,
No, I'm not saying
has his
that's
little dog legs.
Yeah.
There's 8 dog legs on there.
8 legs don't come cheap. Yeah, and then I have $1549 for the T8s, which is the 8-inch stack.
whoa.
That'd be the
Whoa.
full cabinet one.
Yeah.
Or the in walls, is the front baffle MDF or is it metal, like aluminum or something?
That's actually aluminum. Yeah.
Okay.
The other one, the on-wall cabinets, those are all MDF, of course. The
Yeah.
faceplate for the mids and tweeter, that's an aluminum piece as well. And then, yeah, the in-walls, you have the front baffle that's aluminum and then an MDF cabinet behind it.
Hey, look at that. All right.
Whoa.
There you go. That's why it costs a little bit more as well.
Mm.
Almost sturdier.
Premium.
Very. I like how thick and how deep are these?
They are... I should have just
Very
printed
deep.
all the specs I have right in
5
front.
inches?
3 inches?
3. No.
Yeah.
1.5.
5 inches.
5
inches.
inches. All right.
Woo.
Yep.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's like, that was the thing, was make a killer sounding speaker with slim profile.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thing to do. But yeah, and magnetic grills, of course. In
Yep.
fact, grills have magnetic logos as well. So whether you want a logo or if you want just straight nothing, disappear into the darkness of your, tiny home theater, like, yeah, got options.
Are they planning on other colors?
We will do any color you like as long as it's black. I always just jump at that, but yeah, I think a white one would be cool, but yeah, I think they're just gonna be black.
Because I know your Nova speakers are coming in black or white.
Yeah, we do gloss black and the stealth black finish, same as these, and then the pure white finish too. But yeah, the Theatrus, we've kept just the stealth black. Again, that's usually movie theaters and stuff like that. So, not usually looking for that pop of color, but yeah, in all of our other speaker lines, we have multiple finishes and that sort of thing. And we're still getting started with this Theatrus line, so we'll see what comes out next.
So would that one with the MT, what is it? The MT, the slim one.
Mm-hmm.
Would that sound the same as just the square one?
I haven't heard it yet, but I think the sound profile is going to be probably pretty similar. I think it'll be different yet just because of how different the cabinet is.
Yeah.
And also, the Slims, to me, the Slims sound a little different than the ported cabinets. Obviously a difference of a front port versus no front port. And, what I think the T8s are like 13 inches deep, and then the Slim cabinets are like 5-7 inches deep. So, that much resonance does change things a little bit. But in all the Theatrus models, the mid-range and the high frequency is like identical. I feel like there's just changes in bass, and it's like literally just how big the speaker is. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting the new ones into the demo room and blasting the crap out of them. It'll be awesome.
Would the internal volume of the slim ones be the same as the square ones?
The internal volume?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I'm not totally sure on that. I'll have to double check on that. In fact, I don't think I have. Yeah, I don't have that in front of me quite yet, but I would imagine it's probably pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't have that quite yet. Like I said, they're on the cusp of release, and we'll have a lot more information on them probably within the next 3 months or so once they arrive and everything.
Gotcha. Interesting.
So a summer release is what you're hoping for?
Hoping for, yeah. TBD at the moment.
Shane, if you could scroll down to the in-ceiling Theatrus, like the current in-ceilings.
Yeah.
Are those concentric? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the AMT kind of just hovers right above that woofer essentially, and it's angled kind of like our Claris speakers. So where they're facing towards the listening position and kind of radiating in essentially.
Right. Okay. Instead of shooting straight down. That's great.
Right. Because everybody wants that.
Yeah, exactly. And you've got 6.5 and 8-inch versions?
Yes, sir.
Are there's no backing box on those?
No, we didn't do a backer box with those. Crossover is sort of exposed, I guess, but yeah, you could still add a backer box with that for sure.
Yeah. Do you know if Aperion is going to have like custom backer boxes for those at some point?
We haven't ever really done them just because, all construction is always different, and trying to make something that's perfect is a little tricky. But it's something I've been kind of pushing for a little while because I think it would be nice to offer that. Especially like some of those moldable, stuffable backer boxes and stuff like that, I think is nice and easy. But, again, with these kind of speakers and doing that caliber of a theater, you definitely want to build something into the wall.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like my golden ear speakers in my living room, they're in-ceiling speakers, and they're really nice. But yeah, there's no backing box. So, but I did put just some like wedge foam, just like a square of wedge foam, just over them.
Over it, yeah.
So that way the attic insulation doesn't get all over the crossover and stuff.
That's a good call. Yeah. I've seen people use like pillowcases and stuff like that too, just to cover them, keep the stuff out, I guess.
Yeah.
Will the grills on the slim in walls be paintable, or the cloth?
So not the ear level ones. Those are cloth. That's over a plastic frame essentially. The ceiling ones, those are a metal grill, so you can totally paint those.
Got you. Okay.
So they're invisible.
They're Aperions.
Oh.
Our Aperion audio THX certified.
Not quite yet, but we're working on that.
Are you really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
In the works. Oh man.
Lots going on behind the scenes here.
Oh man.
Are you shooting for THX Dominus like Perlison did not too long ago?
No, I don't. I think we're starting with just a basic license to start. I don't really have a lot of information on that, to be honest with you. Like I said, things are kind of still in the works at the moment, but yeah, it'd be a lot cooler if we were, right?
Yeah, it would be. It would be cool if you were. I would assume that the giant quad ones would be like Dominus certified. Where did these go? Where are those? They just disappeared. What in the world?
I know. If that were to come to pass, would that be able to apply to previous versions, or would you have to come out with a new version that is THX certified?
I don't recall, but I think it would have to be a new one.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly off the top of my head, but
You're giving Ealan FOMO already.
Do I need to get 17 new speakers once they become THX certified?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm not totally sure on that, but yeah, looking forward to more details on that. That'll be really cool.
Yeah. I mean, not like it matters right now because I don't even have a THX certified processor. So.
All the stuff to go with it,
Yeah.
Don't you need like $1 million too? I'm just kidding.
Pretty much.
Do you need THX process? I don't think so. I just think it has to do with now, like dispersion, power handling, and I think that's it, right? I'm sure there's other secret sauce.
Yeah. But I mean, wouldn't it make sense though to have the processor processing the audio also be THX certified to then push out THX certified signals? I don't know.
I think it used to back in like the 80s, 90s, but because I think they did something with the surrounds, the decorrelation. Because remember, they used to be like the bipole dipole. No, they were dipole surrounds, but now with Atmos you don't need that. So it's like, because even Perlison doesn't have dipole speakers. They're just regular. They're just certified now. Yeah. So I just think it. I mean, they don't tell you what they certify,
Right.
but I just know it has to meet their whatever certain little certification requirements are. But I think the only receiver that does THX now is Onkyo, unless they got rid of it.
Really?
No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the RZ70 and the RZ50. I know the RZ50, and I'm pretty sure the RZ70 too.
Yeah.
But,
so just Onkyo. I think they're like the only holdouts.
Yeah, right.
But it's like there was like a re-EQ equalization where it like knocked down the treble by like 3 dB or something like that. But you can do that yourself. So it's like
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
You can do it yourself.
Monolith. Yeah, Monolith is even THX certified too, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Pretty comparable. I've had a lot of people bounce back and forth between the two, and the ones that have gone with Aperion have been very, very happy. Like, not a lot of returns on these Theatrus speakers. Usually people get them and just absolutely fall in love with them. And a lot of times I have people try just one, and it's like, okay, go for it. That's cool. They're measuring or whatever they're doing.
Uh-huh.
And then they're right back getting more, finishing out the front three or, even doing the full system. It's like, yeah.
I knew it.
Wait, so they're cross shopping the monolith versus you guys? That's like a normal thing?
Well, yeah. I mean,
That you've been seeing?
I have a lot of customers that are shopping both of us, when they contact us and kind of, looking back and forth. And yeah, I haven't heard the monolith THX myself, but I've heard really, really good things. And I think they're pretty comparable, yeah, I think it comes down to what your flavor is.
I guess. I mean, these look way cooler than not throwing shade at monolith owners, but these look cooler. Like I said, these look like the 150s, the M&Ks. I was like, yeah, these are cool, man.
They got some cool to them, and that's the thing. There's so many freaking speakers on this planet at this point.
Yeah.
Like, find what suits you, find what grabs you.
Yeah. Plus these are slim. Like I've been rocking on-wall speakers for a few years now, just because they take up less space, and then you're usually crossing over to whatever your subs, and you guys are offering like 8-inch versions too, so it's like you can get some bass in a slim form factor, which is cool.
The real slim bass.
That's the way to do it. I know. I wish you guys would come out with like an 8-inch version of the angled ones. That's what you need to do next.
Yeah, that would totally fill it out, right? Even like a standard 2-way bookshelf with the 8-inch woofer and the AMT, I think that would be a pretty sweet piece. I mean, we're getting into like studio monitor territory with that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Shane, what's the size of your RBH woofers?
6.5. So they look essentially like the slim versions of the new Aperion ones, minus the mid range. So just the MTM.
Oh, that's right. They're 2-way.
Yeah, they're 2-way. So is there still IMAX certified speakers? Yes, like the best ones, man. The per listen is like one of the cream of the crop ones. So, and soon Aperion Audio is going to be there as well.
And soon Aperion Audio.
Aperion Audio. Man, yep. I can be better than yours, Ealan. Sorry.
Well, I just figured, it's inevitable. How long do we have you, Collin? I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Oh, I got a little bit more time. That's cool.
Yeah.
We're approaching an hour.
Yeah. I got to look for an hour.
Whenever people are tired of me, that's kind of my golden rule, right?
I really wanted to try the T8s after talking to a few people, but I wasn't willing to risk the 10% restock fee if I didn't like them. Well, something I shouldn't do.
Well, I'll tell you what, Davis, one something, I missed the username.
Oh, dear.
An email, give us a call. We'll work with you.
Yeah.
T80. Which one is the T80? The big one?
Well,
the big one.
Big
Okay.
boy, but that first one we looked at.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah.
The ported, right?
The ported one. Boom, yeah, the big one. You don't have that, do you? Do you have this one, Ealan?
I did review two
I was going to
of
say, you
them.
had it at one point.
Yeah. But even then, my
Too big.
previous theaters, it was just a lot. I liked it, but it was a lot.
It's never too much. The slim ones, man, yeah. I bet you, let me see, what is the frequency response in these slim guys? Let's blow that up.
Blow it up.
Blow it up. 8-inch,
Little
two German
to a lot.
8-inch curved cone woofers. 42 pounds. Oh, hold on a second. No, 35 pound on-wall speaker. Where is the frequency
Blow it
response?
up. There you go, right. Stop
Yeah.
there.
60 hertz. Oh, yeah, it's got the ribbon, so it's got the crispy high detail
So crispy.
from the air motion. 4 ohms. Oh, you need a little bit of juice for these, huh?
like I say, they do perform with, a little more power, which we do have a line of power amps to offer as well. And they're a great match with those. I think
Do you? Oh, you
a
do?
guy I
Okay.
know by the name of Ealan might have a couple of those as well.
Oh, there we go.
I do. I don't have the new high power ones though. Those are
High power.
beasts.
Which one? The 7?
No, they have a high power 3 channel
And 2
and
channel.
and
Oh,
a
is that
2
fair?
channel. That's right.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that beast.
3 each? Interesting. This is a 3 channel. What is it, 480 watts per? I'm just taking a guess.
Oh, I'll let you look at the specs and react.
Okay, 700 by 1, 1000 watts 4 ohm by 1 channel, 3 power amplifier. Output 600 watts, all channels driven. Whoa. Okay, it's high power.
Mm-hmm.
Very high power.
So those
Big
are
giant transformer in that thing, man.
Was
It's
it Class AB?
Yeah.
Of course, 81 pounds. Of course it would be.
So did you anticipate coming out with these particular amps when those monster like T107s were coming out?
It was kind of all in conjunction. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you could take one of these and power and tri-amp one of the T107s.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Insert evil laugh, right?
Jeez, dude.
Yeah.
Are these fully differential amps? End to
Yeah,
end?
they're beefcakes, man. Oversized heat sinks. Like I said, the Troyal transformer is kind of the piece de la resistance. But yeah, they're big, they're heavy. We got all custom components in there. Super low distortion, great power, very clean. They're awesome, man. The 3 I've used in theater a little bit. I've listened to it a little more in 2-channel stereo. Well, in the 2-channel model, which is similar, just slightly different in specs. But man, it's like, our soundstage just keeps getting better and better and better. Like the original Energy line was great. Like that was a huge improvement, especially on our speakers, just all that headroom and everything. But getting into the high power, it's like, man, this is like stellar performance. And for the price, it's kind of hard to bat an eye at, right?
Which one
Yeah.
do you have, Ealan?
I have the E2 and the E7 currently hooked up.
E2, E7. This guy, okay. So you got 2 of these, yeah?
Yeah, well, I did, but right now I'm using the
Oh, the Morads.
I'm using the Stark Fiera 8 to
Yeah.
power the heights, just because there's 8 channels,
Yeah.
so they can power all 8 of those height speakers.
Mm-hmm.
This looks heavy
Otherwise,
too.
yeah. Otherwise, I would have to somehow get one more channel from somewhere if I went with just the energy amps.
Yeah, that's a heavy one too. These heavy amps are backbreakers, I tell you what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dual transformers in that one, and yeah, fantastic amplifiers. Great for home theater, of course. Yeah, really fun stuff. And I took those to the show as well. I had a 7 powering the ear level and a 5 powering the height channels, and really awesome. And everybody that's reviewed the amps really loves them too.
So so you don't sell a dedicated subwoofer amp, like you just get a Behringer or something like that?
That's another thing that we're in development on. We started with the power amplifiers. Honestly, the power amplifiers are a pretty new thing. Those have only been out for about 3 years now. And the high level or the high power amps, the pros, that was just tail end of last year. And so all pretty new stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and they go down to 10 hertz too. A lot of amps go down to like 20.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Is there an ETA on the new in-walls? Might have missed it if you mentioned it.
No hard ETA quite yet, but should be out this year.
What's this? Since no one plays sound clips on YouTube, is there any other place to hear these speakers? For example, Crutchfield has a listening feature. You can test different speakers. I think Ealan, you've done some tests, right? You've done some little demo clips, right?
No, not really. I mean, just because it's, it just doesn't translate. I mean, it's not.
Ealan,
it's not a good representation of what I'm actually.
We know they don't translate, but you know what? I do them anyways, just to make people happy.
Although I did just recently get like some binaural earbud microphone kind of things.
Yeah.
So where like they fit around my ear, and then they plug into my Osmo Pocket 3, and then they'll record binaurally.
Yeah.
So that way, if you listen with headphones, it'll be at least a somewhat better representation of what I'm actually hearing. So
that's really cool. Yeah,
so
at this time, our only showroom is here in Wilsonville, Oregon. And if you'd like to make a trip out, I will totally buy you lunch. But, there again, with our company and the way we started and everything, we feel that, the best place to audition speakers is at home with your gear in your room, exactly where you're going to be using the speakers. And, like I say, with those restock fees, send us an email. We'll work with you.
Hey, there you go. Now you got no excuse there.
You got no excuse.
I know.
I mean,
like,
looks super cool.
Because honestly, I mean, like, no offense to the person who said that, but at the same time, it's like you're reading something online, sure, but have you actually attempted to speak with somebody from that company? So I really encourage you to actually call Aperion, to call Collin, because
Collin.
Yeah, the customer service, I have witnessed this myself, is literally their number one thing. So
yes,
do it.
No AI, no automated prompts in the telephone or any of that junk. And
right.
We miss your phone call, we're probably talking to other customers. So leave us a voicemail and we'll actually call you back.
Oh, look at that.
That's funny too. Like, I've called customers back before, and same with my team as well. And like, guys are like, "Whoa, you called me back!" Like, awesome. Thank you.
Of course we did.
Customer service in various industries in society nowadays, just like, oh gosh, I dealt with my internet like a couple of weeks ago. That was a nightmare, dude.
Yeah.
I had to threaten to cancel my service to get connected with an actual representative. I was just like,
did they give you a discount too?
Kinda. Xfinity. But seriously, like, yeah, it kind of like was an eye opener to me. I'm like, God, this is why people are surprised when I call them back, because like other places offer terrible customer service, and I hate AI. But anyway, enough about that. Yeah, like I said, contact us. Let's talk shop. Like, that's one of my favorite things to do, is to just sit down and chat with people. Learn about what you're trying to do. Learn about what you're trying to build with your system. What your objections are, what your problems are, what your wife just hates. I'll find a way around it.
I know, because I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm pretty sure you've heard it all. Like,
a lot of it.
It's probably pretty rare that you come across a situation that you already haven't dealt with.
Mm-hmm. One of my favorite things is, I tell people, I'm like, if I get a new speaker in at the store, I go home and I tell my wife about it, and she's like, "Oh, cool! So you can listen to that at the office. That's great."
Not here, right?
Not coming home ever.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah. It's fun to chat with people, and I've been in customer service for so long that it's just kind of a second nature thing to me, and I just like people. I like chatting with people too, and so it's something that I kind of drive home here with the business as well. Is like, let's communicate, let's connect, let's dig in, make it happen.
Yeah. Any new products on the horizon? Rippy, if you scroll back a little bit, you'll see the new product announcement.
Yeah, I mean, hey, here just a quick sum up.
Yeah.
Our Theatrus expansion is happening. We have new subwoofers coming out. I don't know if you guys have gotten a look at the Grandis speakers, our new hi-fi speakers and 2-channel stereo.
Oh,
Really cool stuff happening there, and
Grandis.
we're working on some
Okay.
towers. If you go, just hit the high fidelity tab on the
There we
website
go.
up at the top there. Yeah, there you go. GR8, GR6. So these are a little different animals, and just a dedicated 2-channel speaker that Aperion hasn't done before. It's always been bookshelf tower center kind of thing, but yeah, you got this beautiful finish, and that I've had multiple people tell me that we need lifestyle pictures because the stock photos just don't do it justice compared to in person.
Yeah.
But yeah, towers will be coming soon, and that red
Grandis
one.
towers?
There are towers coming, yes, sir.
Hey, look at that. Fancy.
I know.
What is
they
that?
look like
What is this
like
finish?
tortoise shell.
Right? Yeah. We call it rosewood opal and gloss blue opal. And yeah,
Got you.
brand new woofer design we did. It's aluminum, fiberglass, and oh my god, I'm totally blanking now. Aluminum foam and fiberglass, and then a kind of similar design with the tweeter. With what we have going on in the Theatrus mid domes. This special coating over the silk dome tweeter to reduce distortion, and a just sexy little waveguide right over the top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But man, I love these speakers. These things are so awesome.
Oh, they got some bass, huh? 30 hertz.
They do have some bass, and
Dang.
I ran those with an E3H high power, and it was like one of the few times I'm like, okay, I'm cool without a sub. Like, this is
Oh, bi-ampable too.
oh yeah.
Dang, they can take 400 watts. Holy cow. Wow.
They
I
can
didn't
take some
realize
power.
that.
40 pounds each. Oh, they're heavy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the inductors on the inside are like massive. Like, you could take down a 10-foot window with one of these things. Like, just solid copper. And yeah, they're gorgeous.
Wow.
They're beautiful.
Very interesting. You went with the soft dome instead of the AMT.
Correct. Yeah. Looking for, slightly laid back sound, not quite as in your face, but still accurate, detailed, great clarity on these things. I mean, yeah, it's, and it's a lower sensitivity too, than the Theatrus. We weren't looking for that in your face kind of explosion kind of thing, but consistent, accurate, high frequency response.
Yeah. I mean, definitely more musical because of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I would listen to music on these versus the Theatrus like all day long. And that's not saying anything bad. It's just two different styles of speakers, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. That's what is this bigger than? What is it? 8 and 6? 8 and 6.5.
Yeah, 6.5, 8-inch model. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then yeah, towers will be coming soon. 3-way design, if I remember correctly. 4 woofers, single mid, and then the tweeter. And big giant cabinets. Same finish, all that good stuff. So,
Yeah, they'll probably be even heavier.
yeah.
Well,
There's one thing I told myself this year. I said, no more tower speakers. I'm not reviewing any more towers.
will they be as big as the Varus concert towers?
Like the V8Ts. I think it's going to be comparable, yeah, V6T and V8T as far as like height, size. They kind of have that sloping baffle as well too. So
Oh, yeah.
kind of feel to them, and yeah, like I said, really really fun stuff.
Yeah, it looks cool. How the I see you guys always pimping these on your IG. The super tweeter.
We be pimping super tweeters. I'm the worst. Super tweeters are fun, man. They came out shortly before I started with the company. Our original planar magnetic tweeter. And so I've kind of seen the evolution of these things all the way up to our current HST AMT tweeter that you got pulled up on the screen now. And it's probably been one of the more fun parts of the job and just being in the company is all things super tweeters, and the questions, the comments, the, hours of discussion with customers about, their music listening. I mean, I get guys all the time that are like, I got these speakers. I've been an audiophile since 1970. And, I hate to say it, but my hearing's I got a little hearing loss. And it's like, it's like we're bringing the magic back to a lot of people with these things.
Really?
So many customers that are like, I've got the sparkle, the clarity, the airy sound that I'm looking for. And they're just a whole ton of fun, man. They're super, super cool. So, this one you got pulled up, the HST is our flagship super tweeter unit. And the idea with this one is a higher sensitivity. So this can pair with, speakers up to 103 decibels. Basically, we use the main speaker's SPL as kind of a gauge, and compatibility, right? So you have a built-in crossover and attenuation adjustment on here, or treble adjustment as we call it. And, as you roll through the crossover settings and the attenuation, the SPL changes. And so, you kind of use those dials to blend in with your main speaker and, add as much high frequency flavor as you like.
Uh-huh. I can't remember the brand. It's a pretty high-end brand I remember from, I'll say the Florida Audio Show or something. So I remember Gene went there from Audioholics, and I had edited the video. They're like really expensive speakers, and they had also the ad-on super tweeter. Is it? I was like, how many people are doing super tweeters anymore? I mean, but they were expensive too. They were like a few grand.
Yeah, and probably not really adjustable or anything like that. I haven't really come across any that are really adjustable like ours, which is
I don't think it was. I don't think it was.
But yeah. Dual firing AMT, fires from the front and the back. And so there's two models of AMTs. There's the HST, this guy, which, pair with your clipshless scalas or, loaded horns, things like that. The next level down, the DST, that one tops out at about 96 decibels, if I can remember right off the top of my head. So, more with your average loudspeakers. And again, adding that AMT flavor on top of whatever soundstage you're looking for. And being, that bipolar design, you really get a lot more in the soundstage and in the atmosphere with those super tweeters. And, they wire in parallel with your main speaker. It's a 4 ohm speaker. And the first question I always get is, okay, what's that going to do to my impedance? Well, it's all high frequency, so there's really minimal change that's actually happening there.
Yeah.
But yeah, experimentation is key. I tell people plug them in, start at the recommended setting, and then put your favorite track on repeat. Try every single setting until you totally drive yourself nuts and find what sounds best to your ears.
Yeah.
Not to be negative, but you got your tweeter down here, and then you're adding another one up here. What is that doing to your soundstage?
Interesting things all day long.
Yeah, I bet.
I usually try to line them up, on the same plane and everything. And of course, different speakers designs. Sometimes you have the tweeter on the very top. Sometimes it's, MTM, right? I mean, Arveris is like that. And, the question of comb filtering comes up, which I think is a natural phenomenon that can totally happen. But are you actually going to hear that? Is my question. But yeah. And then, we got our planar magnetic and aluminum ribbon tweeters, more your traditional cabinet style, forward firing tweeter units. And, all of them function and connect exactly the same way, but you have 4 different drivers technically. So each one's going to have, kind of their own flavor, like a planar magnetic tweeter versus an aluminum ribbon versus an AMT versus a big giant AMT.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, these are cool looking though. These ones are cool looking.
You got finishes.
Yeah.
I mean, cherry to match our cherry Veris speakers, which is pretty fly.
Are these a popular purchase, super tweeters?
Very popular. Yeah.
Yeah, Really?
In fact, we sell quite a bit on Amazon. People like to grab them on Amazon. They get Prime, get it delivered in a day, like free returns, all that good stuff.
These ones are
It's a
cool
cool
looking.
option. In fact, I even have Buy with Prime set up on our website too, or for some of the models, I guess. But yeah, they're really fun, man. They're a lot of fun.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm a little over, I'm like, man, sounds weird, but okay. Because I remember, I think Radio Shack had something similar. It was like a omnipolar type of super tweeter that you could buy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember those. Those were really popular too.
I was actually a store manager at a dealer franchise Radio Shack, like right before the bankruptcy, before I moved out here to Oregon. And it was a fun time, man. And it was really a bummer when the bankruptcy happened and everything.
Yeah.
I'd gone to their big trade show the year before, and man, they had like all these plans. Soul Republic threw this huge party, and like everybody got all this free stuff, and everybody was all amped up. And then it was like a couple months later, they're like, "Yeah, guys, we blew it." But yeah, the good old Radio Shack tweeters. I get people asking me about the old realistics. They're like, "You ever heard those realistic speakers, or like an aluminum body?" My dad had those in his shop and still owns them to this day.
Yeah, it didn't matter if you beat them around, dropped them on the floor, just put them right back on the shelf.
Oh, you could do whatever, and they'll still keep on kicking.
Yep.
They don't make them like they used to.
Now they come in different blue opal and gloss finishes.
That's right.
Let's take one more question before we get out of here. Michael Guchez wants to know, are there any 18-inch sealed subs coming? Would love to see Shane review one or two.
I'll bet he would. 18... I don't remember on that specifically. I don't think there's an 18 in the works currently. Like I said, the dual 12s, dual 15s, but we ain't done anytime soon. So keep an eye on us. I would say that.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out. Well, Collin, Ealan, thank you for hanging out with us tonight.
Thank you, guys.
And of course, be on the lookout for these new slim Theatrus movie theater cinema speakers coming soon at an online Aperion dealer near you.
Oh, yeah.
Be on the lookout, too, for possibly some THX Aperion speakers.
We'll see what happens.
So, yeah, look out for that. And also for updates on Ealan's home theater very soon as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Ealan's saga of home theater.
Right. Never ending.
It's a saga.
But what do you got coming up soon here, Ealan, that you want to plug?
I just got an email confirming that I now have a Dirac Live license.
Oh.
Because I took your advice, Shane,
hey.
and I reached out to him. And I was before you jumped on the call, I was talking to Collin about this. Apparently, I had contacted, or they contacted me, that same person. And I was like, yeah, let's do this. I'm hyped. But this was like a couple years ago. And then I never heard anything back. So I was like, okay, I just kind of forgot about it and didn't follow up. So I guess it's kind of my fault. But at the same time, I didn't have a Marantz AV10 like I do now. So now I have a full bandwidth license, bass control, everything. So I'm going to finally get that, hopefully, maybe at least run through it this weekend. Fingers crossed. And then I'll have a video on my thoughts and the results of running Dirac Live in here, but also look forward to an interview with somebody, maybe an engineer or somebody from Dirac Live.
Hey.
Because that person I'm in contact with also asked me if I wanted to interview somebody after I set everything up with Dirac Live.
You're like, I just want the license, please.
No, I don't know. I've never spoken to anybody from Dirac Live, so yeah, I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do another interview. Whatever. So I think that one. I think Brad and I are gonna tag team that one because he does a lot of REW and Odyssey multi-QX tutorials and stuff on his channel. So
Yep.
he'll do all that kind of stuff. So yeah, look forward to some Dirac stuff hopefully fairly soon here on my channel.
Very nice. Sounds good. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you want to check out anything or pick up anything from Aperion Audio, go to Ealan's channel and use his links and tell him that we sent ya.
Oh yeah, EO10 will get you 10% off any regularly priced product on AperionAudio.com.
That was the way to end the show right there. That was good.